guys, nice to see you again. Today let's learn about the 7 ways to describe food and talk about that. So you might see that sometimes you'll say that this pizza is very yummy. This pizza is unhealthy. This pizza is very tasty. These are the most common words that we use, but you know the others? Let's find out. So let's start with the first one. Gooey. Gooey means a wet, sticky kind of material like food, but it's a very good way. You might thought that if it's wet and sticky, it's not going to be a good way, but this one's food. Food like cheese. Have you ever tried pizza? Pizza has gooey cheese. When they put it on it, you could shred it. Sometimes you'll get stick to it, and sometimes it's wet because it has the heat underneath it. So that's why. Gooey means that we can stretch it, and it's kind of a little wet, not too much, and it's sticky. Sometimes we could stick to it without letting go. What about greasy? You haven't ever heard of this word, right? Greasy. What does this mean? Greasy means the taste of oil, like French fries. Have you ever tasted French fries? So normally, taste of oil means that we can fry it or cook them on a barbecue. But we'll leave some oil behind. Some of the oil will absorb into the food that we cook or make a barbecue with, and some will be left behind instead. So that's why we call it greasy food. Well, greasy foods are always made by oil, and it's not very good for you. So please don't eat that much, okay? What about crunchy? Crunchy. Have you ever tried carrot or something that you could hear some crunch, you see? So that means crunchy, that it could be hard from the outside, but when you took a bite it's soft. It's kind of soft, but you have to crunch. You'll hear some crunching noise. Like when you stomp your feet, it will make some noise, right? So it's like crunching noises, like when you eat a carrot or something hard, but maybe not an apple, but only carrots are hard enough. When you chew them, have you ever noticed they're crunch, and sometimes you might even hear a snap. Sometimes you could break your teeth with these crunchy noise. So be careful with these because they're kind of hard. Now, crumbly. Do you know what crumbly means? Crumbly means fall into small pieces, like very small pieces, but big enough for you to see it. But if it's too small, you can't see it at all. So, like biscuits. So, if anyone ate your biscuit, they'll leave crumbs behind, right? So, they'll crumble down into small pieces. And these small pieces, you can look with a magnifying glass or with your own eyes, you could still see them. Well, these crumbles are small for some small animals, but it's big enough for you to see and me to see, of course. So, when someone eats something that has crumbles, like cookies, Oreos, maybe a lot of them. There are lots of kinds of biscuits or cookies, or maybe muffins too. Cupcakes, they always left crumbs. So, when they left crumbs, you might know who's eating them because crumbs always lead to clues. Well, detectives use crumbs like this so that they could find other bad guys, you know? So, creamy. Ooh, I like this one. So, creamy means smooth and soft and thick but tastes like milk. So, if you ever tried chocolate milk, you would taste it. Well, if you chew it, it won't have some milk flavor out. But if you melt it down in your mouth, it will just ooze out with some milky flavor. So, have you ever noticed? If you have, it's very good, right? Have you ever noticed that creamy also has another meaning for it? Because it's smooth. We can't see it because it's mixed together. And it's soft. soft, that's for sure. But when you taste it, you'll feel like it's very smooth, very soft, like your mom's, right? So that's how it tastes like. It's kind of thick, like a dough, but when we make it, it will become soft and smooth, like milk. You see, like a chocolate bar. Have you ever tasted a chocolate bar? Everyone has tasted one, right? Next one's moist. What is that? I never heard of this word, but let's just find out together. Moist is like slightly wet. It's a little kind of squishy, like a muffin, some cakes. That's the best examples for you. Cakes, you have ever tried them? So like the cream tastes like water, right? When you take a bite, it feels slightly wet, right? Slightly wet means that it's not very wet like water dropping out, but it's like a little wet and a little crunchy and a little yummy like that. Just put them all together so we became moist. So it's very good for you, but this is the best way to describe if you have a muffin, a cake, that's the best examples for you. Or a cupcake, that's the best one. Last word, crispy. Ooh, I love this word because crispy you always eat at a restaurant, right? Have you ever tried KFC? So you always try it and you always order chicken, right? So it's dry and hard, but it always tastes good. So, but it always tastes good. Have you ever seen that? Outside is kind of crunchy, hard, and dry, but when you taste them, it's very good, right? And inside something's very soft if they have another technique of cooking like that. And this crispy one is like a chicken, roast chicken, fried chicken like that. Well, roast chicken doesn't have like that, but fried chicken too. So when you ever tried it, you could do it by yourselves too. And you could use 7 of these words to describe how is it that this cake is good or the cheese is so gooey like that. You could add a word like that. These French fries are greasy. This carrot is crunchy. I see the biscuits crumbling into small pieces like that. This chocolate is so creamy. This cake is so moist. That means that every one of these will have it. Like this chicken drumstick, it's so crispy. So you could use all these words or just use the sentence that I just said. You could even make your own sentence using all these 7 words. So why don't we try it in the quiz now? Let's go.